Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you a bit of my military collection. I've got stuff from anywhere from First World War up until modern time really, so I'll just take you through what I've got. Hey, so here we have where I'd like to start. I've got two bayonets. Not the rarest or most interesting, but they're still cool. This is for a SLR, or a self-loading rifle, which was issued to the Commonwealth forces in around the 50s, taking over the Lee Enfield. These would have been used through Vietnam, that sort of time frame. You can see on the back there's a little latch to hook it on. And we've got the sheath for it here. There's a little brazed frog holder on there, pretty cool. And then down here we've got, I think this is the Mark 3 or 4, one of them. This is the later war model, which was the easiest and crudest to make, and you can tell that because on the top there it is marked M158, which means it was made in England in around, I think at the end of the Second World War. They weren't very useful in fighting, just for the fact that, I don't know, they're tiny, they're short as, even compared to this, it's pretty small, you know, but they used them for sensing mines under the surface and stuff, which is pretty cool. You can see the scabbard is marked, I think it's something number 4, there we go, number 4 Mark 1 for the scabbard, with the drainage hole on the bottom, and yeah, pretty cool. Okay, now coming over here is just an assortment of random patches from everywhere really. Majority of them come from my granddad, like these Air Force ones. The Army ones are just from wherever really, you know. But yeah, he served for the RAF, as you can clearly tell. He was a Lockheed Hercules flyer. He was group captain at Lynham for many years, and yeah, he pretty much ran that Air Force base, which is always interesting. So it's nice to have these bits of history from here. He also served in America for quite a few years, and in Australia he was also the High British Commission. I think that's what it was called. But yeah, no, pretty cool role in the military. Okay, so here I've got my first uniform. It's not really complete full, you know, set, but I've sort of got bits and pieces. I've got a more modern dress belt, which would be used in parades and stuff, full brass, pretty cool. And then I've got a 1960s, 70s era battle dress, trousers as well, with the RAR shoulder patches, sergeant with a red lanyard. I put this paratroopers thingy on, and this replica Vietnam ribbon. Yeah, I find that a very interesting uniform. I've just got a little modern issue jumper there, which are very warm by the way. Okay, now getting to the interesting stuff. So, up on my top shelf here, I've got a mix of bookmarks, which were just collected over the years, discussing the different Australian battalions, where they were from, where they fought. Pretty interesting. And then coming down here, I've got a set of pins. This top one here, Royal Australian Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. Down below it is the SAS 50-year anniversary pin. To the right of that is the 10th Light Horse Cat badge. And then we've got the F-88 Oz-Style qualification badge. And I think that's an American Special Forces badge. Down below that we have a 1960s era Royal Australian Infantry Cat badge, with just a random little pin there. 3rd Herd Australia patch, which is Special Forces. More SAS pins here and there. We've got a Sergeant's Mess coaster from Puckapunyal, which is pretty interesting. Couple just odd pieces of paperwork. This is a replica set of the cards issued to the Iraqi forces in 2000 or actually maybe even earlier. But pretty much on all these cards on the inside, they've got all the ranks of pretty much if they were hunting, you know, from most important to least important, and yes, Saddam Hussein is obviously most important. Quite interesting. Coming down here, these are my granddad's rank slides. I think that's group captain there, maybe. My uncle's slide before he was awarded to captain. Just a AIF badge. So this is interesting. This is a coin for voodoo medicine, which was, I'm pretty sure the Commandos medical group in Afghanistan. Pretty nice coin there, pretty collectible. Down here we have another coin from Afghanistan time, maybe Iraq. Operation Enduring Freedom. You know, nice coin. And then here, I'm not really too sure about this one. Australian contingent, Israel, Egypt, Sinai. Oscon, yeah, so it's military, but what it was awarded for or given out for, I do not know. Some more of my granddad's cap badges. This is the Signal Corps. You know, the Rising Sun. A couple Australian buttons. Full set of RAF buttons. And yes, that is my top shelf. Okay, coming down to this shelf, this is where my World War II, World War I, German era sort of stuff is. In the back we've just got a cutout from an era book discussing the types of flags. It's not very rare or worth much, but it's a cool back piece. Here we have a cigarette card. I do not know exactly who this man is, but if you want to look on there and look for yourself, you're welcome to. Pretty cool though, in my opinion. Just down here we've just got a little model Focke-Wulf, I think. Odd rounds here and there, all deactivated, none of them are, oh shit, out of frame. None of them are still live. I think that's a 44 Magnum round. Yes, interesting stuff. Here we have a World War II Fire Police Captain's epaulette or shoulder board, which would go up on the shoulder like that. Pretty interesting. Got 2 pips on there. It's a nice piece. Here we have a slug for a, I don't think it's the 98K, I think it's the Gewehr. Pretty cool, I'm pretty sure that was found in a battlefield somewhere. Coming down here we have two Reichmark coins, one dated in 38 and one dated in 37. As you can see, the swastika eagle on the left, and then Paul von Hindenburg's head on the right. Coming over here, we have a World War I Austrian ribbon bar. I've done my best to find out which ribbons are which and what they were awarded for and wrote them there. Pretty interesting though. Over here we have a World War I lapel button, which would be worn in a button, say like that. It has 2 medal badges on it. It's got on the back the Frontline Medal awarded for combat in the First World War by Germany. And we have a Iron Cross Second Class on the front there. So that's also a pretty little interesting piece. Here we have a Luftwaffe Signaler's tinny. It's made out of plastic, it's not the most heavy thing, you know, it's pretty light, pretty cheap feeling. Luftnachrichttruppe, I don't know exactly what that means. Air Night Raid Trooper, something like that, I don't know, who knows. But yeah, no, it's a nice little detailed pin. Coming down here, we have a World War I gold for iron medallion, which has been converted into a necklace. So these were given to the females in World War I who gave up their gold rings to pay for the war effort, and they were awarded one of these little medallions in honour of that. And it's got some maker's marks on the medallion there, where it was put in. So check that there. And I'm pretty sure it's very light, it's not gold or any precious metal, but I'm pretty sure this was issued to soldiers of, I'm not sure what side, but it was to take instead of their proper wedding ring. So if they died on the field, they didn't lose their wedding ring, which is nice. Here we've got a World War I German Frontline Cross, which is the medal for the back of that award there. Pretty cool. Here we have a Nazi War Merit Cross Second Class with swords. So these would have been given to military personnel. If it doesn't have swords, it was issued to non-military personnel. but just for a merit in the war. It doesn't have to be in combat necessarily. It's just anything assisting the war aid. Here we have a 20 or 25 year Nazi, what's it called? You know, cross for being in there for that long, even though I don't think they're really around for that long. But it says Für très définite on the back. I forgot what that meant now, but I knew it at one point. Really nice little thing. You can see where there was an award on the front of this ribbon at some point. But yeah, that is my German cupboard. Okay, moving down here, we've got some more of those Australian battalions and where they fought. Just down there we have a active service Bible, which has just got all of the prayers and hymns and stuff to read while you're out on the front line. A copy of some trench orders, which was used for the 4th Division. Very interesting little read. Here we have my great-granddad's Air Force paybook. He was in the RAAF in World War II. He served in the Northern Territory. There's some paperwork behind it of the same squadron he was in, and you can actually look through the paybook, find where he was at that time, and then read about that in the paperwork, which is very interesting. This is not really military, but it's my granddad's old tape measure, which is pretty cool. They don't make them like this anymore. So very nice and interesting. Coming here, we have the big round is a Martini Henry round. Couple of odd little rounds here. This is a 9mm WRA. So I'm pretty sure that's American. We've got some 308 rounds on a machine gun clip, which would have been used in Vietnam in their heavy machine guns. Got a Lance Corporal rank bit there. Here we've got some relics from near Albany, where they were stationed in World War II and where they shipped out from in World War I. Near the barracks, just some pottery, some barbed wire, some pieces. We have a cat badge here. Not 100% sure where this one is from. It's either New Zealand or British. One of the two. It's clearly Commonwealth. Coming down now, we have World War I British artillery, I think, button. Pretty cool. Just to the left of them, we have 2 Royal Scots buttons and 2 Royal Scots shoulder pips to display rank. Here we have a World War II era British or Commonwealth shoulder pip. Pretty interesting. And then a World War I East Yorkshire Regiment cat badge, which is also very interesting. Coming here, we have a replica set miniatures of some Australian medals. You know, we've got the 1939 to 1945 star. We've got the Africa star with the 8th Army clasp. We've got the 1939 to 1945 medal and the defence medal. Next to that, we have a proper-sized real France and Germany star, unnamed, so probably issued to British or wasn't issued at all. To the right of that, we have a original 1939 to 1945 war medal. Also very interesting to look at. But yeah, no, I really like these little medals. They're very good quality for the replicas, and they cost me nothing really. And yeah, no, they're nice. They're nice. Okay, moving down to my final bit of this cupboard, I've got some Russian, Soviet, stuff. A lot of spent cases here from different war periods, some blanks. In the back here we have a Russian cap, which has awards on it. And on the other side, some sort of, I couldn't tell you, I would guess regiment or something like that. It's got all the markings to display size. I'm not sure exactly when this is from or how much it's worth, but it's still a cool piece regardless. Here we have just a random site really. I picked this up at a militaria show quite a few years ago. You can see through it, and there's a little ranks. You can't really see that now, but there's little markings for judging distance. Pretty cool. If anyone knows what that is, I'd like to know. Down here we've got a original Gillette razor from about probably the 30s, 40s. Missing razor blades, but everything else is there. Now, some Soviet medals. That's for, pretty sure, 1,500 hours airtime without crashing or failing. These were awarded in the 80s to survivors who had survived World War II in the Navy. Pretty rare, I think, but not too sure. Come on over to some medals. We've got a medal for 1,500 years of Kiev, which I think was ordered to military and civilian, so it's really whatever that one. Down here we've got a few more odd little buttons, some sports ones, more sports, odd things. And then here we've got a medal bar set, I think around World War II. That's for 30 years service. This one is, I can't remember, and I'm pretty sure that's for good service or bravery or something like that. Coming to the right here, we've got the classic Soviet Union capstar. I don't know if this one is real or not, but I'll put it there. And then we've got a World War II era Russian 4th Guard or Red Guard badge. So that's pretty cool. Always interesting. And then down here we have a Russian child's gas mask, I think, from 80s or 90s, somewhere around there. It's fairly old looking. I won't get it out just because I can't be bothered, but yeah, no, it's all in there. That as well. And then coming over to the final bit of my collection, I've got a British gas mask, 90s, 80s, 2000s model. Up here, just I don't even know, I don't think that's real. Military issue, I just bought it. Bush hat, you know, classic. And then we have a Royal Australian Corps of Transport greatcoat, dated 1950, which is the 1945 pattern. Pretty interesting. It still has all the buttons on it and everything. But yeah, no, that's my military collection. And yeah, I'd just like to say thanks for watching. And yeah, no, one more overview. Yeah, just have a good one.